Howdy folks, it's me, Manic Mark, coming to you from the bunker system located underneath the art villa found somewhere in the jungles of the Midwest. And today I'm coming to you with it's almost like it's a research paper. As you all know, I've spent much of my waking energy, that's the energy I've got when I'm awake, kind of figuring out the process of what I don't know. And I think I finally here in this paper, this is really small type, that's why I'm wearing my glasses so I can read it. It's what I don't know. It's the answer. It's the psychological. It's what I am psychologically. It's right here. I was just going to read it to you. So because the process has come to a conclusion. And with this is the video where you know that I've finished with the understanding the process. I'm not finished doing the process. I'm just finished with wondering what it is that I don't know. Okay, and this is it right here. This is what I don't know. You know, this camera's not set up right. I don't like this. I'd have to look up when I'm doing this. Is that? That's better. I hate to have to look up that. All right, there we go. Okay. Here we go. It's called cognitive bias. A cognitive bias is a pattern of deviation in judgment that occurs in particular situations. Implicit in the concept of pattern of deviation is a standard of comparison. This may be the judgment of people outside those particular situations, or may be a set of independently verifiable facts. The existence of some of these cognitive biases has been verified empirically in the field of psychology. Cognitive bias are instances of evolved mental behavior. Some are presumably adaptive, for instance, because they lead to more effective actions in given contexts or enable faster decisions when faster decisions are of greater value. Others presumably result from a lack of appropriate mental mechanisms or from the misapplication of a mechanism that is adaptive under certain circumstances. Cognitive bias is a general term that is used to describe many distortions in the human mind that are difficult to eliminate and that lead to perceptual distortion, inaccurate judgment, or illogical interpretation. This leads me to describe the pseudo-certainty effect. It refers to people's tendency to perceive outcomes as if it is certain while in fact uncertain. It is observed in multi-stage decisions in which evaluation of outcomes in a previous decision stage is discarded when making an option in subsequent stages. In social psychology, the fundamental attribution error describes the tendency to overvalue dispositional or personality-based explanations for the observed behaviors of others while valuing situations, explanations for those behaviors. The fundamental attribution error is most visible when people explain the behavior of others. It does not explain interpretations of one's own behavior, where situational factors are often taken into consideration. This discrepancy is called the actor-observer bias. As an example, if Alice saw Bob trip over a rock and fall, Alice might consider Bob to be clumsy or careless, dispositional. If Alice later tripped over the same rock herself, she would be more likely to blame the placement of the rock, situational. You see where I'm going with this? We're almost finished with it, but you can understand how this just explains everything. The next point is called escalation of commitment, as described by Barry M. Shaw in 1976. Escalation of commitment has been used to describe the phenomena where people justify increased investment in decision based on the cumulative prior investment, despite new evidence suggesting that the cost, starting today, of continuing the decision outweighs the expected benefits. Alternatively, Irrational escalation, sometimes referred to as rational escalation of commitment or commitment bias, is a term frequently used in psychology, philosophy, and economics to refer to a situation in which people can make irrational decisions based upon rational decisions in the past or to justify actions already taken. And finally, the Dunning-Kruger effect, which is a cognitive bias in which unskilled people make poor decisions and reach erroneous conclusions, but their incompetence denies them the metacognitive ability to realize their mistakes. The unskilled therefore suffer from illusionary superiority, rating their own ability as above average, much higher than it is actually, while the highly skilled underrate their abilities, suffering from illusory inferiority. This leads to the situation in which less competent people rate their own ability higher than more competent people. It also explains why actual competence may weaken self-confidence. Competent individuals falsely assume that others have an equivalent understanding. Thus, the miscalibration of incompetent stems from an error about the self, whereas the miscalibration of the highly competent stems from an error about others. During the Dunning and Kruger themselves quoted Charles Darwin, who said, "Ignorance more frequently begets confidence than does knowledge," and Bernard Russell, who said, "One of the painful things about our time is that those who feel certainty are stupid, and those with any imagination and understanding are filled with doubt and indecision." W.B. Yeats put it concisely thus: "The best lack all conviction, while the worst are full of passion and intensity." The Dunning-Kruger effect is not, however, concerned narrowly with high-order cognitive skills, much less their application of the political realm during a particular era, which is what Russell was talking about. Nor is it specifically limited to the observation that ignorance of a topic is conducive to overconfident assertions about it, which is what Dunning was saying. Indeed, et al. Cite a study that 94% of college professors rank their work as above average relative to their peers, to underscore that the highly intelligent and informed are hardly exempt. Rather, the effect is about paradoxical defects in perception of skill in oneself and others, regardless of the particular skill and its intellectual demands, whether it is chess, creating artwork, or driving a car. I don't know if I'll be making any more videos now that I understand what I'm doing. Thanks for stopping by. Everybody have a happy new year. Charles Darwin. I think this explains everything. Pretty much I don't have to worry about it. The process of what I don't know, I don't have to worry about it. I understand it now. I understand the process of what I don't know because of this paper. It doesn't actually make any difference. None of this stuff makes any difference. What is it? What good does this do? How does this? Are there enough people out there that understand this stuff? That can apply it somehow in a situation that makes life better? What? So you understand this crap. How is it going to make anything any better? I just like to show my painting, Blood Freak. See, this has got the, right here, it's the little character is upside down and bleeding out, and she's swinging back and forth. And Blood Freak, this is Blood Freak. He looks like a turkey. That's all you need to understand. You don't need to understand cognitive bias. What good is it going to do you? I probably had to edit that out. It was that was just way heavy. But if you listen to it and it didn't go away, then you may actually understand something about yourself, but it doesn't change anything. This is a very warm hat. I like this hat. I like it. It's very warm. You could see, you just use it and you wrap your neck up, and it's fuzzy, and I like it. And I wanted to wear it even though Christmas is over with. I wanted to wear the hat in a video. Thanks, Tink. It's very warm. It's quite well made. It's quite well made. It's got a fuzzy ball on the end of it. See, it's fuzzy. Cognitive bias. A pattern of deviation. That's the name of this video. Cognitive bias, a pattern of deviation. Deviation, 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 deviation.